So I noticed Gary made a video called, he's made a couple, Beyond Bad and Stupid, about Beyond Good and Evil, which is great. But anyway, I watched some of the second one and I thought, well, I'll go to Do Not God. There must be a first one if there's a number two. So I'm 5 minutes and 19 seconds into that. Okay, Gary makes a couple mistakes. First of all, he thinks that Nietzsche is anti-Darwin. Now, he does criticize the Darwinist ideas, but you have to look at what he's criticizing about them. And if you look at the whole picture, according to one of his, biographers, Hollingdale, he was inspired by Darwin. He didn't deny the mechanics of evolution, but just some of the conceptions about it. So here is a quote from Twilight of the Idols, for example. Anti-Darwin. As for the famous quote-unquote struggle for existence, so far it seems to me to be asserted rather than proved. It occurs, but as an exception. The total appearance of life is not the extremity, not starvation, but rather riches, profusion, even absurd squandering. And where there is struggle, it is a struggle for power. One should not mistake Malthus for nature. Assuming, however, that there is such a struggle for existence, and indeed it occurs, its result is unfortunately the opposite of what Darwin's school desires, and of what one might perhaps desire with them, namely in favor of the strong, the privileged, the fortunate exceptions. In other words, he's not disagreeing with the idea of evolution. He was profoundly influenced by it. For one, it created a teleologically free system of determination, which he seems to have reacted strongly to. Right, but what he's saying, okay, I'll go on with the second paragraph of the quote. The species do not grow in perfection. That's his point, which sounds a lot like Gary's points, right? It's a stupid game, it just works because it worked. The species do not grow in perfection. The weak prevail over the strong again and again, meaning they survive, for they are the great majority, and they are also more intelligent. Darwin forgot the spirit. That's English of Darwin. The weak have more spirit. One must need spirit to acquire spirit. One loses it when one no longer needs it. Whoever has strength dispenses with the spirit, meaning esprit, meaning the energy of spirit. It's not just a poetic, he liked to put it poetically, but he's talking about the energy to live, spirit. Parentheses, let it go, they think in Germany today. The Reich must still remain to us. End quote. End parentheses. It will be noted that by spirit I mean care, patience, cunning, simulation, great self-control, and everything that is mimicry. The latter includes a great deal of so-called virtue. He's not anti-Darwin in the sense of doesn't agree with Darwin. He's carrying on the implications. Does it really mean, how did the rabbits stick around? How did the rabbits stick the fuck around? How do the guinea pigs live in the goddamn wild? We're all, the tiger exists because of survival of the fittest. How's the fucking bunny rabbit managed to survive? That's related to the points he's making.